Jurie, first of all, obviously, the light probably doesn't describe how you guys feel, but give us your feeling when you heard the news formally.
To be honest, relief. Relief was the first emotion that came up, but obviously delighted that we're able to get over this first hurdle. It's a pretty big hurdle. We had to convince an independent board based on a set of documentation that we are actually capable of hosting the Rugby World Cup in 2023, and that we're the best candidate. But yeah, at the moment, pretty delighted.
I read a bit of what World Rugby said, and maybe I'm misreading it, but it sounds like SARU is quite well ahead. I mean, SARU was number 1, France 2, and Ireland 3. Does it look? Am I reading it wrong?
No, I think what World Rugby is saying, there was a unanimous recommendation that South Africa should be the next candidate. Saying we're far ahead, that would be pushing it. I think it's pretty tight. If you look at the detail, and it's actually a public document that's on World Rugby website, as you'll see that France put in a strong bid, and so did Ireland as well. There's quite a bit of difference between ourselves and Ireland at the moment, but France is pretty tight. But in the end, it's about a holistic approach, and the final mark that was given, and our final mark came out the highest. So I think World Rugby's approach to this is more the fact that it was unanimous in terms of the results.
Can anything go wrong between now and 15 November?
Well, the council can decide that they don't vote the way that the independent process has suggested, and that they ignore the recommendation that has been made. That is possible. We're in sport, and sometimes things go differently than what we expect. But we're a responsible entity, World Rugby, and you've got people sitting there that's got a specific fiduciary responsibility, and hopefully everybody will execute their fiduciary responsibility and appoint us in the way they should.
The word model high ground was used a couple of times in the media briefing. Would you explain to us what that means from a SARU perspective? There's obviously a process, but you would expect everybody would follow the same process.
Yeah, well, we decided from the very start that we weren't going to see individual unions. We're not going to do that. The moment you sit in a room with an individual union, nobody knows what you're saying, nobody knows what you're doing. So we respected the process, and we decided to, if we presented to the region. So we went along with Ireland and France, and went to see all of Asia rugby. We actually did it in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia, and we did the same for South America and Americas, etc. And we decided to see the regions, explain our bid, so that the day that they actually get the information, they have a better understanding of our bid. And we did not fly to individual unions and made individual presentations, bar one, which is New Zealand, and we couldn't do it any other way. And we made sure there was some independent people involved in that as well. So that's what we meant by the moral high ground. We want to be judged on only one thing, and that's the document that we handed in, and the presentation that we made, both to the regions and World Rugby, and by nothing else.
And I would expect that all the other guys would be the same. Would you have the same expectations of your opponents?
Well, it's for them them to decide on how they wanted to do it. Some of them did make presentations to individual unions, and it's not against the rules. There's no code of conduct that says you're not allowed to do it. But up until now, nobody suggested that anything untoward has happened anywhere. So, and World Rugby has kept a tight grip on proceedings. So. Hopefully we will sustain that for the next 15 days, and we've got a gentleman's agreement amongst Ireland and France and ourselves that we won't use these test matches coming as a platform for anything on our way to the 15th, and that's the way rugby is, and hopefully we will all abide by that.
The government said, the minister said that you don't need to build any more stadiums, but are there other technical issues, facilities, or infrastructure that needs to be upgraded perhaps?
Well, we made ample, budget opportunities in terms of actually some upgrades. We're another 6 years out, from that. In 6 years you can get quite a bit of issues in terms of stadiums. All of our stadiums are kept up to standard by the local municipalities or the owners as such, but we specifically in the bid put in new DESO pitches for all of the stadiums, which will be put in 18 months ahead of the time. We will obviously upgrade all of those facilities in terms of media, digital, Wi-Fi, whatever is the relevant medium at that stage, because we don't know. If we knew, we wouldn't be standing here, we will all be trading on the JSE. But whatever the medium is at that stage, we will upgrade all of that, and all the facilities in terms of hosting, hospitality, etc. But there's ample budget for that within the World Cup budget.
And then